Welcome back, everybody. So today we're gonna do just some general maintenance. So I was driving the car the other day and I realized like high RPM, it was just breaking up, ignition misses. So I was like, you know what? I should probably change the cap and rotor. I never did. I should have done it when I did plugs and wires, you know, several videos back. But I'm gonna do cap, rotor, and ignition coil today. Also too, while we're messing around with maintenance items, I'm gonna put a fuel filter in it. I never did. I probably should have done it when I bought the car, right out of the gate, all that little just maintenance stuff, but it was just one of those things I overlooked. It actually ran really strong when I got it, so I wasn't too concerned about that. It's one of those things you just add it to the list. So today we're just gonna address that. Cap, rotor, new ignition coil, and then just do a fuel filter. Just basic maintenance, little stuff you gotta do to keep up with your car. All right, so I went with all AC Delco parts. This is the distributor cap, rotor, and then the ignition coil. So that's pretty much it. So now I'm gonna just start taking everything out, the old stuff, and then we'll go back together with this stuff. All right, first things first, I'm gonna just remove this cap here. All right, at that point, I'm gonna remove this little numbered piece here, and then I'm gonna remove those spark plug wires from here. I will actually get some tape, and I'm going to just number these wires as I pull them off. So it's just a little bit easier when you pull them back together, you know exactly where they are. This piece just clips in. And you can either trace your #1 cylinder or you'll actually see it on this cap. But it's good just to go to your #1 cylinder, follow that wire just to confirm, just in case anything wasn't twisted or #1's over here or something like that. So just to confirm that, and then start from there, #1, and then go 8, 4, 3, 6, 5, 7, 2, and then just pull all those off of there. All right, so I'm also going to remove this cowl piece here. There are like Torx 15s that are like here, and they run along the front of this here. So we're gonna take those out, and also we're gonna remove these grills in here just to get this out of the way. I did this when I did plug wires a while back on it too. I took it out of the way just because if you look down there, it's really tight, and getting this out of the way is gonna free up a lot of room around the distributor, and it'll make this so much easier that way. So I'm gonna start taking these out. You also have to just disconnect these little hoses here because this piece is going to lift out. Alright, so I got this cowl piece out of the way here. Just want to show you how much extra space you got behind here. So it literally covers these back two plug wires here like that. So now you can actually see there, and we'll be able to take this cap off here, which we're going to do right now. Or just this little coil cover piece here. We're going to take that off first, take these wires out of the way, and then take the ignition coil out. All right, so now I got the wires all removed and labeled here. There are connectors on either side here, so we're going to just go ahead and pop those off. And then it's a 1/4" drive socket, or just a 1/4" socket on a 1/4" drive. Take this top cover off, like that, and now you can see the coil. So we're gonna go ahead and take these off here, and then we're gonna pull these pieces out with a pair of needle nose pliers. Just give you a better inside look here, what that looks like, if you've never done one of these before. And just pull that straight up. And then you'll see this centerpiece here, which we're going to take out. And then there's this little spring in here, and there's a gasket too that they give you that you have to put back in right there too. But we'll go over that when we put this back. So we're going to pull this off, put this little piece to the side, and then pop this cap off. There's 4 screws that are 1/4 inch heads on them around the distributor cap. All right, next we'll get to the rotor, which is right there. And that's what that looks like. All right, so I got everything out of the car now. I'm just doing a quick comparison and just a couple little things to look for while you have it all out. So this is the original stuff. It actually may be the original factory stuff on the car, since the car only had 68,000 miles, but I'm not sure. So the new rotor has Phillips screws instead of the 1/4 inch drive screws there. And then you're also going to have to put in this little spring piece down in here, and this piece that comes with the ignition coil on top of that. Another thing too, this cap did not come with the 1/4 inch screws to mount that, so you're gonna have to swap that stuff over. Other than that, relatively easy, and we're gonna just go ahead, reverse order, and start with this, that, the coil, and then the plug wires back on. All right, so now I'm gonna put the rotor back on. There is a little slot on one side, if you've never done this before, and this just kind of to prevent you from putting it the other way, how you took it off, because right on here there's like a little like nipple, if you will, that kind of sticks out. And that's where that little gap goes. So we're gonna go ahead and put that on there. Something to mention too why I had this off, if you ever had to put an ignition module in the car, it is right under there. So you do this whole process, take the cap, the rotor off, and then you take these other screws out here, and there's a couple connectors, and that's the ignition module. All right, now I'm gonna put the cap back down. All right, now we're going back with the coil. So we're gonna put this piece in, and this goes in the center here, like this flat piece down in here. And then this kind of hooks around where the screw or bolt goes to hold the coil down. Like that. Now we sit the coil in. Make sure your little spring and that gasket piece is down in there. Then your ground will go over here. And then these will slide in. You may have to kind of bend them a little bit. These were bent up a little bit, so. That one goes there, and then this one goes over here. Then we'll put this cap back on. And then we can hook our connectors up down here. All right, now we're just gonna head back with the spark plug wires. All right, so I got everything back together there, as you can see. I am gonna start the car real quick. It's probably good just to do that before you put this cowl piece on. Just in case you have one of the wires mixed up or something like that, or you have an issue, you don't have to take the extra time to take that cowl piece right back off. So start it, run the car, and then put the cowl piece on. All right, before I start the fuel filter, I'm going to depressurize the fuel system. And it's as simple as just pulling the fuel pump fuse here. It's labeled FP there. Pull that and then run the car, and then all the gas will run out of it. Therefore, when you're taking the fuel filter off or an injector or anything like that, you're not going to have fuel just spraying everywhere. Okay, so I'm underneath the car. So you'll see the filter here. There's this strap here with a 10mm bolt holding that in place. I'm going to crack these free here. It's pretty much like a 3/4 and a 5/8, or the metric equivalent is like a 19 and a 16. I'm going to crack these loose, and then I'm going to take the bracket off. So keep in mind, this is filled with fuel, so you're going to have gas coming out, so just be prepared for that. All right, so now I have the new filter here. There is an arrow for the direction and like an in and an out that it says in there. It's pretty self-explanatory if you've never done it before. All right, now I'm just going to throw that fuse back in and then just start the car and just come back on here and just double check and make sure there's no leaks or anything before I take it off the jacks. All right, so that's a wrap for today's video. So as exciting as all that general maintenance stuff is, it still has to get done either way. So if you enjoyed the video, press like, subscribe. Thanks for watching.